Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today, wherever you are in the world when you're watching? A huge shout out to you. Okay, so I'm trying to get some readings done this week so that I can kind of get in front of myself in January to take a little bit of downtime off. I posted the 2022 tarot scopes for all signs. They were a huge effort just before Christmas, and I hope that they're resonating and you're enjoying them. So this won't be a long video today. It's just really a touch base. My Christmas was very relaxing, and in fact we've moved into that relaxation vibe now between Christmas and New Year. I still have my yearly predictions to do, which I will upload around the 1st of January or thereabouts, give or take 1 or 2 days. And that will be a fairly comprehensive look at the coming year and the major themes of the year, whether that be the economy, whether that be COVID, whether that be climate change, whether that be political change, whether that be, whatever we're in, whatever state of flux, I should say, that we're in, I'll be looking at it. So I hope that your Christmas with your family was peaceful and joyous, and that you are taking some time out from the doom and gloom, because if your country is anything like mine, we've now had this huge surge of Omicron, and of course it's putting terrible strain on whether you have health issues, whether you're pregnant, whether you need to access the health system and you can't, whether you're worried because you actually have some breakthrough infection, some symptoms, whether you're not vaccinated and you have that conscientious objection to them and you're worried that COVID is going to come your way. Whatever the fear or the worry is, I do know that in every way, physically, psychologically, spiritually, you're better off not with the fear. So release the fear, be cautious and sensible, and don't live or sit in that fear. Now, I don't know about you, but when Jupiter moved into Pisces on the 24th of December, I felt a huge relief or release. And Jupiter had been in Aquarius. It was in Pisces, I think around mid-year. And even though we have Omicron on our shores and certainly everywhere, most other countries, I just don't have that same sense of, worry that I had with the other strains, even though this is terribly, terribly, terribly infectious and it will overwhelm the health system. It's more that if you need to access the health system for whatever reason, it's probably going to be difficult over the next month or so. But we can look into that. So when Jupiter moved into Pisces, I'm not sure what this shift is or was, but I really felt it. And that's one of the questions I want to ask today. So let's take a look. Something wants to come out. We have the Knight of Pentacles. That's interesting. The Knight of Pentacles is earth energy. And it is also a grounding energy. So Pisces on the zodiac, the opposite energy, of course, is Virgo. And so Pisceans often can channel, if you like, that kind of Knight of Pentacles energy. Maybe that is a message to be very grounded over the next few months. And don't let your fears, as I said, run away with you, because that Knight is there to say that it will be okay. We will slowly or quickly move through this. And maybe that's the counsel. While everything else is moving quickly, maybe you just need to slow yourself down. Maybe that's what you need to do. And avoid that Five of Pentacles feeling, whether that be fear or loss or a sense of missing out, a sense of I'm not where I want to be. All those kind of worrying, negative type of, soul-searching questions we ask ourselves are probably needless at this time. We probably can let go of them, and maybe that's what Jupiter in Pisces is telling us. So show me what is the impact or the effect of Jupiter moving into Pisces. Jupiter is, expansion, huge expansion. It used to rule Pisces, it rules Sagittarius now. Pisces is that psychicness, that collective consciousness, that being in the flow of creation in a way, sensing creation. So your psychic senses, for example, could be expanded at this time. Your knowledge of where the collective is, insights could be coming through that third eye chakra and the crown chakra. You could be just getting more of a handle on what is actually happening than what you had before, and that will help you bring something into form. So it's a good time to ask yourself, what do I want to bring into form in 2022? All right, so what does Jupiter in Pisces, what is the effect of Jupiter in Pisces on society? What are we going to see now as Jupiter moves into Pisces? Okay, so all right, so it's interesting. Let me bring the laptop down. So we have here the Seven of Swords. I'm using the Spellcaster deck for those that want to know. The Seven of Swords is a pretty negative strategy. It's about the lies. It's about those that really don't give a codswallop about anybody else, because they come in and they take what they need and they leave the camp unguarded. But in this deck we have the wolves, which is a very protective spirit, still at the campfire. But this wolf is asleep and somebody else is making off. Maybe we see the insights that are coming through, maybe allow us to see what is not serving us at this time, what is being taken from us. Now we have the Six of Pentacles, which is crossing this Seven of Swords energy. This is about giving and receiving help. Now one of the viewers, bless them, talked about meeting this energy with with the same sort of negativity that is displayed. But this card talks about understanding why the Seven of Swords is occurring as a way of not just defending, but of helping yourself and others, lifting up and healing. So it is a time to not to allow yourself to be open, open to this kind of energy. We do need to meet it, but we meet it with awareness and wisdom. And of course, we understand in that awareness and wisdom as to why this is happening. We understand that the highest form of human expression is love. Now, interpret that in any way you want to. Sometimes that can simply be, I am having this self-love because I don't want to be taken advantage of by anybody else. So whichever way that highest expression works for you. So let's see what's at the foundation of the reading. And of course we have the ultimate healing card, which is hope. The star card in the tarot is all about setting your intentions and being hopeful. It does work. It's not just idealistic nonsense. It actually works when you decide to have hope, not I guess spiraling downwards into this energy. So we help ourselves and we help others when we start to channel that kind of star of hope energy, setting our intentions. And of course, Jupiter in Pisces is a really good time to set intentions, because it is about dreaming big, dreaming about where you want to be, understanding that we are making progress toward that goal. Three of Cups in the past is around circles of support. It's around holding your nearest and dearest close. It's about knowing who is supporting you and who is not. That's the question. Okay, so in the sky, what is the effect of Jupiter in Pisces? We're able to discern and get to that awareness stage more, I guess, with greater strength and perhaps more quickly, because awareness and insight can be instantaneous. Now, crowning this reading is the Two of Pentacles, and this is walking a tightrope. This is, things aren't really stable at this time. The energies are shifting. Now, in the immediate future, we've got the Grim Reaper, we've got the Death energy. The Death energy is about letting go. This is Scorpio energy. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you. It's about perhaps letting go of that shadow side. So we've got the Death card, we've got the Seven of Swords. That's telling me something, that in some way there is an ending here. Even though it involves a huge transformation, there's an ending to something. At this time, we have the Three of the Three of Swords. Well, that is loss. And so, a lot is ending, and we are feeling that loss. The Seven of Swords, the Death card, the Three of Swords are common cards to draw when we're facing that kind of really difficult time. And, of course, what goes with that is the Tower, breaking down structures, that last square between Uranus and Saturn, Father Time, Saturn, breaking down structures. There's a lot of loss here. There's a lot of grieving. There's a lot of, in some cases, betrayal, or what we see or perceive as betrayal. But, the strength of this spread is the Star card. The strength. Okay, the Eight of Cups in the hopes and fears, letting go. It's a letting go energy. What will happen? What will happen if I let go? What happens if I don't? And the outcome card is the Nine of Swords, and that's, great anxiety here. But notice that wolf is now awake and sitting right behind that person. And this hints of divine protection. Look at that sun in the mountains behind this person. It's the same energy. It's the same energy. Don't worry. That's what Jupiter in Pisces is bringing us. We've got the Ten of Cups. You're going to be pleasantly surprised in a lot of situations. And the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment and miracles. So now we've got clarifying the huge anxiety that we're all feeling. Is the Nine and Ten of Cups. Something wonderful is occurring here underneath all of this energy, including the Seven of Swords. And what we have here is the Sword of Truth. Now, at some point, maybe it took about 24 hours for this sense of the Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, the Tower card to leave me. But it's definitely left me at this time. And that brings us to these underlying energies. Of course, we've got the Devil card. The Devil card and the Ace of Swords. So it's a mental struggle here as much as anything, even though it's playing out in the reality before us, in the investigations we see, the politics that we see. There's something really wonderful here as well, and that is truth and that Ace of Sword card. And we have retreat. Something is retreating. Some sort of energy is retreating. I suspect it's this toxicity. So the question was, Jupiter in Pisces, expansion of awareness, insight and awareness. And that's where I come out. That somehow the astrology of our time is helping us pierce through to awareness and knowledge via the truth around what is toxic. And in some way, we're being called upon to own that. Not to step back on it. And here's our awareness, whether it's what we want to hear or what we don't. And the Knight of Wands, the energy is on the move. And yes, I saw that beautiful winged orb there. So, it might not seem that we're taking those steps forward, but we actually are. So I just want to go to that big political question in the US around a coup to overturn the democratic government there, or an attempted coup. And we now have the Congressional Committee investigating that, now wanting to bring Trump's personal lawyer, Giuliani, to the stand to talk about what the ex-president said in that call on January the 5th about overturning the election. I do want to mention The Guardian has a story on that. There's been a lot of massively good journalism going on here. I think Rolling Stone, the Daily Beast, these non kind of mega media companies are breaking really good stories without the wealth and the manipulation of some of the bigger media companies. Now, we have the Knight of Swords. The truth is coming, and it's coming really quickly. So one last question before we finish this reading, and that is, let me give it another shuffle. We all want choices, but if we don't have healthy functioning democracies, we don't get choices, nor do we get freedom, nor do we get liberty. So healthy functioning democracies rely on the push and pull of the various political oppositions or differences in political values, political persuasions, politics. With it, if you say goodbye to your democracy, you only have virtually one political party and no choice and no freedom or liberty, and that becomes then an authoritarian or a dictatorship. So the attempted coup in the United States is of vital importance to us all. So did Trump talk about the mob marching on the Capitol and potentially breaking into the Capitol? Was that ever discussed on a phone call? And will they get to the truth? Did Trump discuss with anybody an insurrection as a strategy? Did Trump discuss with anybody an insurrection as a strategy? Quick movement. The Knight of Wands. A plan, a very quick-moving plan. Did Trump discuss with anybody an insurrection to halt the certification of electoral votes in the Congress? So we've got the Page of Pentacles. We're going to get information on that. I wouldn't have thought, I think he probably would have left it to his deputies, but it looks like there's some kind of information they're trying to hold back here. Yeah, Page of Wands, and we're going to hear about it. It's interesting their pages are here because the pages talk about messages coming forth, news, hearing information, and that's really positive. I think we're going to get the truth. The Seven of Pentacles in the past, if one plan didn't work, there was another. So there were multiple strategies, and I think this kind of answers us with the Five of Wands energy. It is about partisanship, but in this card they're actually hitting each other with sticks, and we've got the Star card again to show us, anchoring us all, and anchoring this reading as the Star card as the outcome card, and that is set your intention that the truth will come forward. So I'll leave the cards to talk for themselves. Sometimes I feel I don't need to talk too much. There was somebody, part of his team, is it Giuliani, that he spoke to about an insurrection. He might have said something like, if it did get violent, that wouldn't be so bad. It's for our cause. Something like that. There's some evidence there that we will find out about that ties him directly to what happened as the insurrection moved into the Congress. So we're going to get to the truth, and we are moving forward as horrible as it all might seem. We are moving forward. So be sensible, and also around Omicron, there's reports that it is not less infectious, it's more infectious, but milder. But I have spoken to people who have had it, and that doesn't seem to be, particularly with young people, they seem to be more affected. We can round it up and say generally Omicron probably is milder and highly infectious, which is where my readings have come out. But I still think there's a need to be as cautious as you possibly can be, because each individual response to COVID is different. Each individual response. And so, generalizations can be a little bit, can bring some complacency, and I don't think it's a time for that. Not a time for fear, just mask up, you know the drill. All right, I'll be back again later on with some New Year's predictions, and then we'll see how we go. After that, I will take some time off. All right, bye for now, everybody.